Kirby's back in 2D just in time to conclude his 30th anniversary, with Kirby's Return to Dream Land Deluxe, which brings a classic Wii platformer to the Switch with a fresh coat of paint and some major new features, like a brand new Epilogue story, the most minigames ever featured in a single Kirby title, and more. But the big questions are, does it hold up a decade later, especially after Kirby's first big 3D adventure just last year? And is it worth double dipping for if you played the Wii original? Let's answer both of those in GameXplain's pros and cons review of Kirby's Return to Dream Land Deluxe. While the music appears to be untouched, the art style has been significantly upgraded from the original, with a more detailed world and characters that take on their modern designs. Not only does everyone look cuter than ever, but they pop a lot more too, partially thanks to the new cartoonish outlines. While they may be divisive for some, I found that they help to complete the cute art style. Seriously, this game looks good, and that's in part thanks to the fact that the game runs at a full 60 FPS, which is a first for a mainline Kirby game on the Switch. And not only does it look significantly smoother, but it helps make the gameplay feel even more responsive than, say, Kirby Star Allies. In short, not only has Kirby's Return to Dream Land never looked better, but it might be the best looking 2D Kirby yet. This game doesn't just look better, but it plays better too. Partially thanks to being able to use a proper controller with actual control sticks, instead of a Wii remote held sideways, which makes running feel even better, as it only requires a quick flick instead of a double tap. And the game feels more modern in other ways too. For example, Kirby and friends can now dodge attacks while blocking, something introduced in the 3DS era of 2D Kirby games, which adds a nice extra layer of depth. Kirby's abilities also control similarly to some of their more recent appearances, with new attack and combo options than the original Wii game. Even Meta Knight, Bandana Waddle Dee, and King Dedede all play similarly to how they did back in Kirby Star Allies, with expanded movesets compared to the Wii release. There's also a new assist option, called Helper Magolor mode. If enabled, Magolor will appear to help the players on their journey, providing healing items after taking damage, and catching them if they fall into a bottomless pit, among other things. This is a helpful addition that I'm sure players that struggle with 2D platformers will appreciate. Or if you find the chaos of multiplayer to make the game too challenging, it can help everyone out there too. I do wish that Helper Magolor mode came with some more options rather than simply on or off, or maybe just enabling it on a per player basis, as it can make the game a bit too easy, although it can't be enabled in the extra story mode. So it's not a bad way to experience the main story to get a feel for the game, then challenge yourself through what's essentially a harder New Game Plus. One of the biggest surprises about Return to Dream Land Deluxe is that it adds a pair of brand new copy abilities, something never done in a Kirby remake before. Whether you're running through a story mode or taking on bosses in the arena, you'll have access to these new abilities just as frequently as the rest. Mecha Kirby is powerful, and feels like a heavy hitter against bosses, especially when its big laser can be charged up and stored for later to use at any time. It has great combo potential for strong attacks along with good range. Sand Kirby, on the other hand, is incredibly versatile, with an in-depth moveset that covers what multiple other copy abilities can do. Between quick attacks that can cover what Hammer and Stone Kirby can destroy, a far-reaching grab like Whip Kirby, the ability to hide for invincibility like Leaf Kirby, and a super jump like High Jump Kirby, there's a lot that Sand Kirby can do, and it's definitely one of my new favorites. Both new copy abilities feel great, and help mix up the gameplay for returning players, whether it's finding new enemies across the campaign, or gaining the abilities before a boss fight. And as a result, it certainly enhanced the main story mode for me compared to the original, and I suspect many players will take to using them whenever they show up. And it's for all of these reasons that the main campaign, which is otherwise unchanged, is better than ever. Kirby and friends still venture across Planet Popstar and more to repair Magolor's ship, the Lore Starcutter, in the main story mode. You'll also still find the arena to battle against bosses, and the option to play the story again on a harder difficulty with Extra Mode. And of course, you can still experience it all with up to 4 players, either as multicolored Kirbys or as Kirby's friends, King Dedede, Meta Knight, and Bandana Waddle Dee. And playing with others made the adventure even better. Teamwork enhances the journey as you learn to best work together. Some of my friends wanted to be other Kirbys, while my husband wanted to stick with a specific character and moveset that he liked. Working together with friends to solve puzzles, get through challenging levels, and take out difficult bosses feels consistently rewarding in this game. And you are constantly unlocking new content throughout the adventure. Collected energy spheres in story mode or extra mode levels? Well, you'll gain access to special rooms in Magolor's ship, like challenge levels or the sub-games. Playing a lot of minigames in Merry Magoland, you'll earn a ton of stamps, clearing challenges and earning you new dress-up masks to wear in any mode. And these masks are all references to other characters from across the Kirby series. It's pretty fun to discover which characters appear as masks, especially when some have unique sound effects. In addition, there are 9 challenge levels that you'll unlock as you progress through the main story and collect energy spheres. While most of these were in the original release, a couple were added to account for new copy abilities. These levels encourage learning and mastering the intricacies of the different copy abilities in the game, and completing these definitely help prepare you for the harder content in the game, like the arena or the extra story. Let me tell you, these challenge levels can be difficult. So many times I made it to the end of the level, only to find I didn't earn enough points for the highest rank. Plus, it feels great to feel like you fully understand what Kirby's different abilities are actually capable of. But perhaps the best unlockable has to be... One of the biggest new features in Kirby's Return to Dream Land Deluxe is a brand new chapter after you beat the game, called Magolor Epilogue, the Interdimensional Traveler. It's relatively short, maybe a few hours long, in which players take control of Magolor as he traverses dimensions to regain his powers. These are all smaller levels, most of which are completely new. But unlike previous Kirby titles, this post-game adventure isn't just about playing as another character through the same levels. This time around, things are more intricate. Magolor earns magic points throughout the levels, and can earn more by keeping a combo going as he takes out enemies. These magic points are redeemed in a skill tree to improve Magolor's abilities. Each level is well designed to teach players how to use Magolor's abilities, and encourages players to upgrade them. For such a short mode, it does a great job making Magolor feel more powerful with each upgrade, which is a lot of fun. While I normally enjoy these little extra modes in Kirby, Magolor Epilogue is one of my favorites. Thanks to the intricate systems like the combo counter and skill trees, it feels much more in-depth than just a small side mode in a Kirby game, and that's refreshing, and a fitting reward for those who had played the original story mode before on the Wii. But for as fun as the Magolor Epilogue is, it's also the one mode I enjoy the least in multiplayer. Because without the 4 people playing as different colored Magolors, combined with each one having very flashy attacks, there's a lot happening on screen at once, and it becomes easy to lose yourself and get confused during the gameplay. Furthermore, with these levels already being on the shorter side, they feel even briefer with the added power of 3 additional characters. So this is a mode that I prefer to play solo, saving the multiplayer for the rest of the game, including... Merry Magoland is the new minigame mode, and it brings the most amount of sub-games we've ever had in a single Kirby game, with 10 in total, which is 8 more than the original, all of which supporting up to 4 players multiplayer. Even one of the 2 minigames from the original Wii release return, being Ninja Dojo, although Scope Shot didn't make the cut, possibly because it's similar to several others here, so it's not that big of a loss. And while some of the minigames are brand new, others are iconic games from across the series, such as Checkerboard Chase from Kirby 64, or Kirby on the Draw from Kirby Superstar Ultra. Each sub-game also has a series of missions to complete to earn stamps, which lead to more rewards, sometimes just from playing these minigames. My friends and I were playing these games for hours, at first just trying to play them all a few times, then looping back around to revisit them. We're all pretty nostalgic for Checkerboard Chase due to its fun, risky gameplay, and it feels especially great to play here thanks to the faster speed mode. Bomb Rally is another favorite of mine, which is back from Nightmare in Dreamland. It's a simple reaction time based rally minigame, but the hectic energy of playing it with my friends as we kept hitting that replay button really makes it stand out. Merry Magoland, with its large variety of minigames, makes for some of the most fun I've ever had with the Kirby subgames, especially in a multiplayer setting. It's just a shame that, unfortunately, as fun as the co-op story mode and the variety of minigames are with friends, they're all only playable via couch multiplayer, which is an annoying limitation in the era of online gaming. Although there actually is an online aspect for one particular minigame, Samurai Kirby 100, which challenges your reaction time against the records of 100 other players or computers. Yeah, in terms of online play, that is unfortunately lacking, as the bulk of online functionality is essentially a leaderboard. Seriously, if I could play Merry Magoland online with friends, I would be doing that as often as I play Mario Party. So it's pretty disappointing that I can't, especially since even getting everyone all together in the same place just to test out the multiplayer for this review was kind of a pain. So, this all brings us back to our two big questions. Does it hold up all these years later, especially after Kirby's first big 3D adventure in Forgotten Land? And is it worth double dipping for if you played the original? And my answer to both of those is yes. This beloved fan favorite title is made even better with the amount of new content added on the Switch. Brand new copy abilities to adventure with, a whole new epilogue centered around a recurring character, and tons of minigames that my friend group found difficult to put down. With all of this extra content and an overall improved gameplay experience, I can confidently say that this is the best way to experience the game, even if you played the original, and especially if you never have before. I like Kirby's Return to Dream Land Deluxe a lot. I just wish the game supported online multiplayer. Because while the local multiplayer is still fantastic, it sadly greatly limits how I'll be able to play it. That aside, this truly is the perfect way to close out Kirby's 30th anniversary, with a wonderful return to his 2D form. With that, thank you all so much for watching our review of Kirby's Return to Dream Land Deluxe. Let us know your thoughts down below, and if you plan to jump into this 2D Kirby adventure. But otherwise, until next time, farewell everyone.